Not so bad dreams. The engines in North America are proud of being really useful. Amtrak is a long-distance passenger train in the United States, and it takes people from city to city all year round. But because it's special, it is nice and dark blue. One afternoon, Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam were on their way to the shunting yard. They were gonna collect something new. Sir Topham Hatt was there. "Today, Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam," he said, "I would like you to collect the long freight train of 136 cars. "That's a lot of cars, sir," said the 4 engines. Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam were soon in the rail yard. "This is the longest train we're gonna pull." "It is," said Dwee. A few minutes later, Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam buffered up to the gondola cars. "We have to make a crew change when we stop," said Becky. "We do," said Dwee, "'cause we have to get ready." A few minutes later, the new crew was on board and the freight cars were fully loaded, and the whole big train set off. It was long. "Whee!" cheered the 4 engines. "We're having great fun." The troublesome trucks were having fun too. "Our items are full," they said. The boxcars, hopper cars, tanker cars, and more were all behind Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam, while the whole train rolled along. And with the sensor in the ground, it said, "We have a long train. Keep clear, everyone. File post 2. No defect. No defect. Coming through." Meanwhile, Claudia was letting off passengers at St. Nicholas. "I have to get going to Knapford," she said. A few minutes later, the passengers were on board, and Claudia puffed away. The Candy Pajama Slumber Express was long. But Claudia carried on. Ahead was a red signal. Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam were supposed to wait for Claudia to pass by with her train, but instead of stopping at the signal, the 4 engines passed the signal without stopping. On, faster, faster!" laughed the troublesome trucks. Alicia Botti was in the dome car and she saw a petrifying sight. Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam were right in front of Claudia. Becky's driver threw her into emergency braking. And Claudia did the same thing, and their crew members bailed right out of their cabs And then it was too late. "Oh no!" cried the engines as they flipped over and then rocks began to fall, and the collision was so aggressive that the freight cars did flips and they rolled onto their sides, and they all, and 176 cars jumped the tracks. When Mia saw the accident, she was surprised. Luckily, no one was hurt, but 76 cars jumped the track and derailed. "I hope my passengers aren't hurt," said Claudia. "Luckily, I'm safe." Becky had flipped onto her side, and she was all dirty. I'm not feeling very good," said Becky. "Neither am I," the other engine said. It was catastrophic. Just then, James pulled up with the substitute passenger train. "What happened here, Nia?" asked James. "It looks catastrophic with 59 cars that didn't derail." He was surprised. "That could have ruined my paintwork," James sniffed. "You're right, James, it could ruin a red engine," said Nia. The sign ahead said, "Danger, engines must not pass this board." Then a lady walked up. This is an emergency. I'm gonna walk over the freight cars." And she did. "Follow that woman!" yelled Becky. James and Mia hoped the collision was going to be all right. That evening, Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam were in the repair shop near Chicago Union Station. Amtrak Cardinal 51 went by at a nice pace. The engines were worried. "Our boilers are destroyed," said Becky. "They are," said the 3 engines. "I hope they're not beyond repair," said Lauren. "I hope they're not either," said Sam. A few minutes later, Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam went to sleep. Then there was trouble. Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam's broken boilers were so hot that they couldn't sleep at all, and it made them very sweaty. So, they had a nightmare. A flying saucer arrived in the rail yard. Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam were shocked. "Welcome to this other planet," the alien engine said. "My name is Loitzy, and I have 2 tenders." Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam were frightened. "Bust our buffers!" Then Diesel 10s came through the fog. "I've been working on the railway all the livelong day, and she's hungry for the fog." Just then, a random engine without a face came around the corner with a whole bunch of tank cars. Those engines are sure to be cloned, said the random engine. But they're in my way. Out of the way, please. The random engine applied its brakes. And then there was trouble. It slammed right into Loitzy's tender and pushed her into Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam. And they rolled backwards. Woo! They said. The great red spot is the storm. Then Loitzy looked. Today, I have to get these engines cloned. Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam were just terrified. There's your clouds, she said. Hello, hello, hello! Then there was trouble. The Northeast Regional came through the fog, and it didn't see Becky, Dwee, Lauren, and Sam until it was too late! Oh no! Cried Becky, and it woke up. That woke me up, said Dwee. What's wrong, Becky? James asked the same question. What happened here? Asked James. He was surprised. We had a nightmare, said Lauren. It was that alien engine called Loitzy. Loitzy, said Sam. Are we going to see her tomorrow? I don't believe so, said James. She's from another planet. And he steamed off back to Tidmouth Sheds. Space. When morning broke, the women engines woke up and they were feeling exhausted. We shouldn't have had that nightmare. We shouldn't have, all the other engines said. Just then, Loitzy was puffing along. She was from outer space. And she had new engine parts. She was soon backing into the yard with all her materials to fix the engines. And she arrived just in time. I'm not late at all, said Loitzy. Just in time. Becky smiled. We're really useful. We are, said Dwee. Because we won't have that nightmare again. Before long, all the engines were repaired and they were ready for work. Nowadays, Loitzy is a smart steam locomotive. She's got 2 tenders and she is really useful while she does important work. But because the engines are very friendly, they always greet each other as they pass by for the hard work they do on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. That's it.